economic imperative is not so clear, right? And because perhaps there's no this whole of government approach that was highlighted by Jitipat just now, we are also not clear, including on the Malaysian side, what are the obvious economic benefits, and that's why in responding to Siu's question, I focus much more on the politics side because the economic rationale is not that strong. Because whatever ties that we have on the economic perspective with China and to a lesser extent India, the two most important countries from a trading and investment perspective, those are already being pursued on a bilateral and multilateral perspective through ASEAN. Maybe just one last point I want to make here is I think we have not had enough discussion or any discussion with regards to the process of applying to join BRICS as full members. That process is not clear. For example, if let's say a country wants to join the CPTPP, the economic parameters and the process by which other countries respond is relatively clearer. When the UK wanted to join and did join, and then now other countries as well. So the question would be, what are the concessions that needs to be made through the original five, or what are the kind of deals that need to be made at the economic and political level? And then also with the new members, the five that joined earlier this year, would there be similar concessions that may be extracted from these countries? And I think that is a question that we need to continue to ask.
Excellent point.
Thank you for questions. I think how can we learn from India? I think for me, I think it's a strategic clarity that India is clear to be a kind of hedger with all major powers, and that's very clear, right? That India can benefit from all parties. I think the lesson learned for Southeast Asian countries is that they need to speak obviously about these issues, okay, to be clear that they want to be part of all, right? So that in the case of Thailand, it's not that obvious, right? So that has raised many criticisms about how and in what way Thailand would pursue in a foreign policy direction. So that's I think it's one example that India has have an example of multi-alignment and also strategic hedging. The second one that I think India can draw lessons to Southeast Asian case is that it's pursue a kind of a strategic posture and position of hedging, so that we can learn from. Okay, in the case of Thailand, my take is that during Prayut Chan-o-cha, we tend to hedge by default. So in other words, what we might really need is to transcend that in order to create a kind of whole of government approach of hedging, or more importantly, Thailand might need to position itself as a middle power in the near future. With regard to the question of Laos, Cambodia, I can't speak on behalf of those countries, but I think two observations. One, the option remains open. It depends on not only on those countries, but also on BRICS members as well, or regional members. And the second one, I agree with Ong that the process is not clear. Okay, it's still ongoing. It's lack consensus among the BRICS countries. Okay, it expands, but still divided BRICS. So I think this is what we might need to take into consideration in the future as well. We talk of BRICS as a unitary actor, but I think in the case it's not, right? So in other words, for example, if you think about alternative financial payment system, I think Russia is on that. China is still in the middle, while some other countries might not like the idea, right? So I think this is what we might need to think about. The process of BRICS and expansion is not clear and still in a process. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are a few minutes over time. I think we could have gone on for longer. I apologize that we're not able to answer all the questions that are online. I know you're all eager for caffeine and a bathroom break, so I will end by saying, by offering our thanks to our two great speakers this morning for their insights into Thailand and Malaysia's motivations for joining BRICS. We'll take a 10-15-minute break now, and please join us again for the second panel where we will look at Indonesia and Vietnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, panelists, for the insightful session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now break for lunch. Coffee. We look forward to seeing you again at 10:45 a.m. Singapore time. To those joining us virtually, please use the current Zoom webinar link to join us later. Thank you and see you at 10:45 a.m. Singapore time.
Nhưng mà tại vì đó là không học ở lớp này K2 cho nên là